Hey everyone, welcome to Be Like Flutter, the channel where we make learning Flutter fun and easy. I am Julius, and today I'm going to guide you through the 5 simple steps to get started with Flutter as a beginner. No prior coding experience is needed. You don't really have to have anything in coding like that. Let's just go straight to the point. Great. So I'm very happy to start this channel. This is a new channel. So please make sure, I beg you guys, please support me. It doesn't take anything to subscribe to my new channel. This is going to help me know that I'm doing a good job. Hopefully I'm doing a good job for you too. Yeah. Great. So uh why did I start this channel? Because there are lots of channels that is teaching flat about. Why did I start mine, or what makes my own different? So let's start the story. So basically, this video is to just give you the roadmap, the simple roadmap to start Flutter, right? Now, why am I saying this? It's because, let me use myself as an example. When I was starting to learn Flutter, it was a very rough pathway for me. It wasn't smooth because there are a lot of informations on the internet about Flutter and how to get started with it. This one has his or her own information on the internet, different things on the internet, blah blah blah, and I was confused. So my pathway were full of confusions. So I didn't really get to focus well on learning Flutter. I was all over the place and I didn't know what I was doing. So I want to help someone who want to start Flutter so that the person doesn't really go through all these mistakes again, but go straight to the point into learning your Flutter to become a very good mobile developer. Great. So these are the 5 things I did. First, what I did was to inquire what Flutter was about and why I need to learn Flutter. So I wanted to understand what Flutter and that was. So I got to know that Flutter is a tool that helps you make apps for your phone, web, and desktop. It's like basically a cross-platform framework, like basically like a big box of building blocks that lets you create beautiful apps quickly. Then I got to learn what that was, and I got to see that that was the programming language that Flutter uses. If you have never coded before, think of that as a language that helps you tell the computer what to do, right? It is super beginner friendly and a great place to start if you are new to programming aside Python, right? So these things, these frameworks, this language and framework were built by Google, so don't worry, it's really safe to learn Flutter and that. Now, since Flutter was built by that, or was built on top of the Dart programming language, the first thing you want to do is to learn the Dart language. After you are done, the first one is to introduce yourself to Flutter. That is the thing. Just get to know what Flutter is about, read a little bit about Flutter. The second thing is to start learning the Dart programming language. This is a key thing because without that, you cannot write your Flutter code. So take into consideration, right? Now, if you want to learn Flutter, there are lots of resources out there to learn Flutter, but the best place to learn the programming language is through their documentation. So take note, every programming language has a documentation, so it is best to read from their documentation before you move to other resources. So this is the official website for that. I'll leave the link in the description below in case you want to go and read. And yes, I recommend that you read from their website. Now they have a cool, beautiful UI. Yes, and if you scroll down, you see try that in your browser. So when you're learning that, you don't really have to install the that language into your PC. You can try it on their that pad, which is like something like an online tool to help you code that very faster, right? So the second, you have to go to, if you want to learn, go to their documentation by clicking on docs here. Then you click on language because you want to learn the language. That's the reason why you're here. Now this will give you the introduction. Then it talks about, this will take you through the introduction to that. It is very simple to get started with that. This is the content, the variables. You get to learn the variable, the control flow statements, functions, comment, import, classes, enums, inheritance, mixes, and many other things. You get to learn the syntax basics. You get to learn the types, get to learn the patterns, and a lot. This place is the best place to learn that, and it's very simple. You should be up and running in less than whatever, I don't know, it takes, I don't know, right? So after you are done learning that, you can go back to check on Flutter like this. This is the official website for Flutter. You can go through, and if you want to learn from that documentation too, you go to the development, go to learn, and it will take you through their documentation on how to learn Flutter any way you want. Now the third thing is to start building user interface. Now, how do you get to know how to build user interface? Sorry for that. You can build user interface very simple, right? By getting to understand the widgets, what it takes to build Flutter application, what goes into Flutter applications. So you want to chew in some widgets. Some widgets, like basically when you're building an app, you should know that you need text, you will need an image, you will need a button, you will need some few things, some key things. Those things are widget. In Flutter, all those things are called widget. So you want to make sure that you get yourself familiarized with a lot of widget. And example of the widgets I was talking about is basically we have the state management, we have the basic widgets, we have the navigation widget, we have the routing widget, we have the layout widget that's going to help you create some layout on your app. We have the input and interactive widget and other widgets as well. You have to make sure that you get yourself acquainted with all these widgets so that you know what you're doing when you start programming, right? Great. So after that, the fourth thing is to learn a state management tool. Now, state management is let me say an example. When your app runs and it needs to, basically, when an app state changes, you want to really make sure that you are managing it well, so that your app doesn't crash or something. You have to make sure that you're managing your state on in your app very well. So you have to know what to use for state management. Flutter has a lot of state management tools, and choosing that tool is a big problem because it can be confusing to know, can be a confusing thing to know which state management tool you want to use. But basically, people have their own choices. I say my own is Riverpod. I really love to use Riverpod. People talk about GetX, we'll talk about Block and the rest, but I really love Riverpod. You can try that and see if it helps you. If not, you can search other state management too. That's the four. After you get to know how to manage state in Flutter, you can now learn how to use networks. You want to know how to do networking, like integrating APIs and packages. You want to learn all those kind of things, and when you're done, you are good to go in Flutter. Make sure that you build a lot of UIs, right, to get yourself acquainted with Flutter. Build a lot of UIs. Now, state management, we have a lot. We have provider, we have blocks, we have the actual Flutter state management tool called the set state. So get to learn everything yourself, and it's cool to learn. Thank you so much for joining my video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to share. This is a very short video. In my next video, I'm going to take you through the steps I have mentioned. So I'm going to introduce you to Flutter, then I'll take you to how to code that with you guys. Then we'll be building a cool and breaking down cool widgets, cool application into widgets. Then you know how all these applications were built, right? Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Next week I'll be posting a video every week. So check here, and please turn on the notification button. Please press it so that anytime I release a video, you can see it first. Thank you so much.